All right, everybody, welcome back to the 30th episode of the Michelle and Tony Show. For those of you who has been with us this long, we all know how the journey have been. There has been a little ups, a little downs, but at the end of the day, we are still here. So for this 30th episode, we want to talk about a very special and not so controversial, but the topic is basically something that can keep you thinking, and it's who wins this game, right? We'll basically be telling you, giving you all these life hacks and all these things, but like, so now we're basically like saying, like, we're basically now asking, like, who actually ends up winning the game, right? And like, we're going to assume, like, you know, the rules of like human beings are divided into different rules. That is the rules of the lover, the rules of the hustler, and the rule of the pretender, right? So we're not going to be analyzing all these people's life, and we're going to be basically asking ourselves who wins this game, and if so, and if they do win, why they do win. And like always, I am here with the co-host of this show, Tony.
Tony, I'm here. Um, I mean, it's a honor to be, at the episode 30 now. 30 for
Yeah,
like,
episode
basically.
30.
So that's a big, like a big, what I say, what would I use now?
Milestone,
Achievement, yeah,
milestone, yeah.
milestone to across here, basically. So, yeah. So, right. Now, today's topic is going to be not so controversial, but very, very deep,
Yeah, very
right?
deep.
Like,
Yeah,
it's a
that's the
question
word.
of life, we all know that this life is not as easy as people say it is. People have their own philosophy towards life. People understand it towards life. But the truth is, like, at the end of the day, the questions we all ask ourselves is, who really wins in
The
this
game.
life?
Yeah, who really wins this life? Yeah.
Who really wins in this life? And like I said, like Michelle said, so we're going to be, assuming roles, right? It's going to be the lover, right? The pretender and
The
the
hustler.
hustler, right? So I'm just going to give you a breakdown of what those like people are. Who a philosopher, who a hustler is now. Someone that
Yeah.
basically,
Chasing the bag, chasing
chasing the bag and
success, pushing
everything,
against
yeah.
his future.
And then you have the lover, someone that's this loyal person, he's always like acclimatized to one person, believes in caring and all those
Yeah,
comfort and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. And then you have the pretender, someone that's always hiding in the shadows, like is the a chameleon. He's never like showing his true colors, that kind of person. So he's like,
Yeah.
flexes, chases clout, just going for attention and stuff like that. Yeah. So we've gotten like a huge breakdown on what the topics are.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the lover, right? So how are we going to do this? You're going to give me like a rule. We're going to like battle it
No,
out.
like okay, first let's talk about, like, we'll basically pick out a role, right?
Yeah,
Dissect it, fleshing it out, and then we'll now check, does this person actually win?
yeah,
Right? So our comment box is always open. So if you think any of these people, if you think who the winner is, Tony and I must not basically agree on the same person
yeah,
that we
yeah,
think wins, right? So okay, let's start with the role of the lover, right? Let's start with the role of the lover.
yeah. Someone that basically like
Loyal,
yeah, lawyer,
caring,
caring and
he's a
everything.
people type of person.
Yeah, but the truth about this person is, like, is it really worth it when you know, get hot? You're going to just obviously get hot, always chasing loyalty. Like, you're always going to be. Because the truth about a lover is someone that is always willing and like is always there to care for somebody.
Yeah.
So, like, as a lover, you're going to always want to care for somebody. But what is like the person is not reciprocating the same love to you. Like, where is the win there? Like, you do all these things for that person, and like that is who you are as a person. But now there's no like reciprocating, like the feeling is not being reciprocated.
Yeah.
Basically, like how do you expect me to think that you are a winner for just being who you are? When
Yeah,
being who
yeah,
you are brought you, all this hurt and pain and sorrow and like
yeah,
you claim to be someone that is just there to always show love, but yet love can never be shown to you, or love is not being shown to you. You live a life where people that you tend to love, because as a lover, someone, this is your like your person, this is your personality. And then I believe that people that love, right, people that have this emotional attachment to people, they always tend to throw it at anybody and everybody. Basically,
yeah,
they just, let's say they find it like they have this emotional connection with somebody. That person might not be the right person. So you end up having an emotional connection with that person and show that person abundant of love, like that's your personality, yeah. But then the person doesn't show you that love back, right? So you chase, loyalty and get hurt in the process. So really, how can we say you win in this life?
Okay. Personally, I believe that for every advantage, there's always a disadvantage, right?
Okay.
And he basically, gave us a rundown on the disadvantages of being such a lover. But like, I mean, let's look at this role of a lover again. I mean, like a lover, like we're talking about a person that builds a community. We're talking about a person that stays inside the community. We're talking about a person that is loyal. We're talking about that that person that helped you become successful.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about that. You know, I think a lover is deeper than is deeper than it seems at first sight, because a lover is basically, like, a lover is basically sharp. Actually, a lover is sharp, right? Like these are the people that cheer you on. They are not haters, right? They're the people that cheer you on when maybe the whole world turned their back on you. They're the people that held your hand, right?
Yeah.
When things were not going well, they're the people that were there for you, right? Like these are they are the helpers, they're the advisors. In as much as maybe they don't always necessarily end up in this utopia of success, right? But if you check people that are inside that utopia of success, you see that they met one or two lovers along the way, and without those lovers, they wouldn't have gotten to where they were, right? So, if you want to kind of scale it, you scale it on the disadvantage and the advantage. Now, like comparing,
Okay.
comparing, I really think, oh yeah, this is a tough one, but I really think this guy is win. Honestly,
The lovers.
I really think they win.
Personally, like being a lover is sharp. I think it's nice. Everybody has to, have that emotional connection with people. Show that love. I believe I believe having emotional intelligence is actually one like very good thing. And always being there to care for someone and being staying loyal. But like the truth about these people is now let's also get it right. It's not everybody that what's it called like yes, it's not everybody that who just love for what's it called like just love like that. Do you understand? But I believe that this category of the lovers, right? These people are like they tend to give throw away through their love to people. These are people that they always build connection with people.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's the right people to build the connection with is the question. And that's what the problem like is like now how do they win when they are what's it called through a lot of sorrows,
Okay.
because
Like you're basically now flipping it to like them being in a wrong relationship, showing
yeah,
loyalty and care
loyalty
to the
to
wrong
care to the
people.
wrong people, like because the truth about these lovers is for someone that cares and someone that shows good affection to, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person is a lover, right? A lover is the term lover is someone that is always emotionally there for you. That kind of person tend to he just always wants to love people.
Yeah.
He doesn't like how would I put it? Like there isn't a limit to what he can like the people that he can love. There's no like it like trying to break down this kind of person. He just always wants to love. Like his first glimpse that he has with you, maybe she's attracted to you or something like that. Then he just like jumps into that boat of wants to care, cater for you, make friends with you, that kind of thing. That kind of person. That's a lover. It's not that the person has like emotional affection towards someone because he loves that person. He's able to love somebody, but then be a lover, someone that always cares for people,
Yeah.
right? Anybody and everybody. So now the question is now, how do they women? They're always throw their love to anybody and everybody. So it's now like they throw their love to everybody and anybody. Now it is now they don't throw their love to people that most of the time deserve that love. You know what I'm saying?
I get
So
you. I get your
they end up living a life of full of hurt, pain, trauma, just for being who they are, basically. Right? It's sharp, yeah, but then they end up living that life of getting hurt every single time, you know, not having and like these people they're always moving with their emotions, they're always moving with they're not like logically moving like that's just basically their whole this thing. They're always moving with their emotions basically.
Yeah, they're not
They're
logical
not
in
really
that sense.
logical.
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
so that's like that's where the point, that's where the issue is.
That's where it
Being
is.
who you are, then, and like it just basically brings a lot of hurt, pain, and sorrows to your life. So how do you expect these people to just like, how do you expect them to win in this life?
Okay, that was a very valid and strong point actually.
Yeah.
Um, first to ask whether they win in life, let's basically give a rundown on what it actually means to win.
Like, is it worth it? Like, having living that life, is it like really worth it? That's how
Exactly,
I
exactly.
see it.
Like for me, like that win is basically for the sake of this debate, right? I'm going to be changing my perspective of win because I don't think that anybody can tell you whether you won
Yeah.
for yourself. But the sake of this debate now, we're basically going to be looking at it from a societal viewpoint,
Yeah.
right? We're going to be looking at these individual characters and say who won. Does this person win? Does this person win? Does this person win? So for me, winning in that societal viewpoint, so basically, did they? How did they later end up in life, right?
Okay.
And even if they died kind of early, how well off were they when they died? Something like that. So yeah, in as much as anybody they come across, they show love, it can actually be a very, very big disadvantage. It can actually be a very, very big hindrance. But at the same time, now if you enter the body and if you enter the perspective of the lover, you're not going to ask yourself, are they loving to be loved back, or are they loving because that is just who they are, that is just what makes them happy, right? So now I just basically flipped that question because I mean, yeah, you can look at it from societal's viewpoint and be like, them loving everybody, is it actually valid? But when you enter the perspective of the lover, you're going to ask yourself now, are they loving everybody? Are they showing that kindness to people because it is one
Okay.
of their core values as a person, that they will always help people in need, that they
Yeah.
will always give no matter what they have, right? Like maybe
Yeah.
the core values have been built into yourself. So
Yeah.
now, are they doing it because these are their core values, or are they doing it because society
Society tells them to do
society
it.
might reciprocate, or all those things?
Yeah.
Personally, for the sake of this topic, for the sake of this podcast, we're basically now talking about like lovers, right? That is why if you want to talk about pretenders, that's why we still have keys for pretenders. But like, we're talking about the 100% genuine lovers, right? And yes, personally, I'll say that yes, these people actually win in the sense that they kept their values of always helping, of always being there, of always caring, of always, of always showing that support, right? I mean, who knows what these guys has as values? You might see some people that are, you might say that they are overkind, but like at the end of the day, you can just go back and open one of their journal and see where they wrote somewhere that I must always help somebody no matter when the person is in need. You might think that they're doing it for show off or all those things, but like starting from the vantage point of an actual lover, not a lover slash pretender,
Yeah.
like an actual lover, I think that these people actually win. Yes, in as much as they can get stabbed by the same people
Yeah.
that helped them. It is not a loss on the I helped you and you stabbed me
Yeah.
in the back part, because they didn't help you so that you will not stab them. They helped you because it is one of their core values to help, right? So
Okay.
them stabbing you in the back, you're not necessarily going to attach it to the I helped you part, right? So
Right.
so in as much as not everybody might show that love and that
Yeah.
care and everything.
Okay, so like I'm just going to give you like examples, concerning this love. I'm just giving you like one example,
Yeah.
so a girl, right?
Yeah.
Like dates a guy, basically she starts when she's with him when he was, with nothing. She loves him for who he is, basically, you're hustling, and then she's giving you her all, right? She's there when you're hustling, like you're starting your journey, right? She grows with you. She's there always when you're broke for 3 years. Like you've been broke for a long period of time, and she has always been there. She was there doing your hustle, doing your
Yeah.
ups and your downs.
Yeah.
And then this guy that she was there with basically blows, like becomes rich, and then he leaves her, he dumps her for about it, stuff like that. So that person now, like, how do you expect us to consider that thing that she did as worth it? How much as love. That's her personality. That's who she was. She gave all she could, and everything that she felt like she's supposed to in a relationship. So like, where is the worth? Like, like how can we say it was worth it? Really, because
Uh,
would you not like, because now if I go to say on her part, she did everything all right, but was it worth it on her part? Like, let's say it, let's not put it, let's not say, oh, because of the guy, what the guy did it, then it's not worth it. Like to her,
on her own part.
loving that guy, doing it, was it actually like worth it? Like, is it worth showing someone this amount of love? Knowing fully well that you're not going to get anything, like knowing fully well that you're going to get, like, do you get my point, sir? Just
I basically get
yeah.
your point. I get your entire point. Yeah. You actually put me in a very, very tight corner, right? And for me, when you were saying it, as much as I was put in the corner, the first thing I just did was just change perspective, open some new doors, created
Okay.
multiple scenarios. But like, yeah, you limited it to just her own part, which now
Yeah.
basically blocks so many doors for me.
Exactly.
On her own part, was it worth it? In as much as I don't want to contradict everything I've said for the past, I don't know, I think 20 minutes now. I don't want to contradict everything I've said for the past 20 minutes. Ah, hmm.
Because there are most scenarios I can give
I
you
don't
now.
think I don't.
There are
Oh
most
God,
scenarios I can give you now. Like,
exhausting.
personally, I just feel like these people that lovers is like, being a lover, being someone that shows love to someone on affection is very hard to find. But
Yeah,
then when you do, it's not like you're not supposed to take them for granted. Especially, and then when people like these people, yeah, it's very hard to find. And then when they are like they tend to show love to everybody and anybody. Like I said, they move with their emotions rather than their like logic. And so it gets me to that point of like telling myself, okay, like, love, right? Love or loyalty, basically. Loyalty, because loyalty is what she basically did.
yeah.
Like, loyalty doesn't parent, like, obviously it doesn't
It
parent.
doesn't parent.
But like, love without leverage
Love without leverage.
is slavery. Because you are enslaving yourself to somebody. So you're not basically living that life of it being worth it. You're not basically like that idea of having to love somebody and basically it being worth it. It's not like there, because believing that you're going to just love without your senses and everything is crazy. Not as much as love is like, what's it called? It's like one of the most important gesture you could show to somebody, right? It is just, now you have to have leverage. You have to have something like it's not like you just love with your full heart. Now there's something you have to attach to it. That brings me to the idea of being in a relationship with somebody or marriage or something like that. And then when you're married to a person, like, no matter as, yes, you're fixing yourself, you're identifying yourself, like, yeah, like
Yeah,
love,
in the name of
love, but like love has to come in there, because now if he decides to pull out from the relationship, something has to go for it, right? There has to be like there has to be something that
in as much as they didn't do it for the materialism, they did it for
yes,
love.
for love.
You're going to pull out for me.
Yeah, there's
Some
something.
materials are
Yeah,
going to have to
people
go.
have to be compensated, like, basically.
Yeah,
That's what the ideology of having a woman and a man, like, this, like, a woman takes half of your property. We talked about it now on the
But like, do you really like relating to your own personality, your own unique
yeah,
personality as Tony now?
yeah.
Do you really think people need to be compensated for love?
Do I really need to be? No, because I don't think anybody needs to be compensated for love, but I do think it is necessary, right? In more that well, I'm also contradicting myself to what I said previously.
Yeah, I
concerning that.
just
Like,
said nah, I didn't
yeah,
want to say anything about it.
yeah,
Just basically,
like, more I'm also contradicting myself to what I just feel like it is necessary. Like, I'm looking at it and seeing that, yes, these kind of things happen, right? And
Yeah.
I told myself then that it was, you have to pick the right person before you get married to that person. But you can never, like, you can never really tell that other person, right? The right person. The right person might be the right person, in your first 3 years of dating.
Yeah.
And then the moment you basically stop dating that the right person, and you not like move further with marriage, that right person becomes the wrong person. Do you understand? So now that person now pulls out from that relationship. Maybe due to something. I believe that people need to be compensated. Both parties do need to be compensated, right? Both parties need to leave that relationship knowing fully well that I left and I did not, like, it wasn't to feel that it was worth living for, at least. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's like the idea I can
Yeah,
give.
yeah, but like, what you're basically trying to say is that, like, logically and like speaking from like a very sharp and clear point of view, people, you do not need compensation for showing love. But like,
Yeah.
when you're not entering the human conscious,
Yeah.
emotional part of
Yeah,
people, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you need to compensate
Yeah.
this
Because
love.
ima- yeah.
But then, since it is not necessary, since
Okay.
it is not necessary, like since it is not mandatory, but like
Necessary.
necessary,
Yeah.
right? Then can you now still truly say that love without leverage is slavery? I mean, because if there's no leverage,
Yeah.
that leverage, like you said, is not mandatory, but it is necessary. So now, can you now truly call love without leverage slavery?
Well, like I said, loving someone for a whole period of time, it takes a lot of this thing, right? Well, like, let's logically put it. Let's start logically start putting, like, giving ourselves, talking to ourselves, right? Logically speaking, right?
Yeah,
To love somebody genuinely is based on your emotions, right?
yeah,
That's what's based on emotions. But you're adding logic to that loving that person. There's a possibility where this person ends up leaving me. Like I told you, trust not don't trust everybody 100%. Always have it at the back of your mind that there's a possibility where things can go south or
South,
things
yeah.
will go south, right? So that is where the low level, that's where the I feel like that part comes in, right? It's not something that you wish to happen, but it's something that could happen. So there's a like that basically that what's it called, a possibility that it could happen necessitates for that like what is it called, that law to be there. Do you get my point?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I believe that anybody that is in a relationship with somebody that there's no leverage, like it's just fully love. There's a world where that person fucks you up, and then you leave that place having nothing to show for it. Like there's nothing, like you're not going to be hot, no compensation, nothing, right? Now it's just based on the fact that, like I said, if you're going to divorce somebody without like that one, like is where the person just tries to leave the wife forcefully, try to divorce the wife, or the wife tries to divorce the husband, like without any reasonable listen, and then takes her for I'm against that one. But then when it is like sorry, when the wife tries to forcefully leave the husband, right? Right, when the wife, then there should be like measures to if the husband is the one that pulls the weight in the family,
Yeah.
then he should basically take, then she shouldn't give anything to the wife. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But if it's the wife and the husband are basically what is called pulls the weight, then she
Yeah.
just leave, like
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
without anything.
Yeah. Now I want to now basically like, first of all, first things first, I want to like basically reaffirm my stance that, okay, I don't actually think these people will win, because now I think the ground has gotten a little bit thinner than just being loyal and all that, as we have all
Yeah.
seen. Now let's now go to the part of the so-called compensation. Right now, let me now. Okay, that question you initially asked me, let not be like I'm running away from the question. No, I do not think it was worth it. Yes, contradicting or not contradicting, I do not think that loving a person for 3 years through his struggles or for him to become successful and is worth it. No, so no, I do not think it's worth it.
Okay.
So now let's now enter this perspective of, okay, what if the person does not leave you? Let's say you truly love this person, right? The person then does not leave you. Then the person gives you, he leaves you, but he gives you compensation, the so-called compensation. Let's say
Yeah.
he gives you $1 million now because he has made it, and like you didn't love him for his money,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
You loved him for like the person he is.
Yeah.
Now it's basically now contradicting this compensation of it, because compensation, is it actually necessary?
Like you mean like
Like
giving part of half of your property or that
yeah,
that kind
like
of
even giving the
compensation?
person anything at all. I mean, because if somebody actually loved you for you, like just basically using that same scenario you gave me, right? Basically using that same scenario you gave me
Yeah.
of the girl and the lover, lost for 3 years, brokenness, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
success. And now, what if the guy meets success, basically pays her off for her time? Like, here's $1 million for everything you've ever done for me. Peace out.
Yeah.
Now, that girl will not be happy,
Yeah.
right? In as much as she has been compensated, the same compensation you talked about.
Yeah,
In as much as she has been compensated, she will not now be happy. So it means that compensation is not necessary unless you actually love the person. Like if you actually love the person, compensation will not be all that necessary, because you now know that truly leaving this person is not worth half of his property, quarter of his property, 1% of his property. So you're just basically taking it back to all these
That's like
all these divorce and take
no,
50%.
no,
You like
that's why like that's where like I'm getting that this one is different when it's just like a love. Like if you're using this example, like the girl dating the guy and then he dumps her. That one is like they're dating, so there's no like legally bounded something there, right? There's no way it's legally bounded, right? You can date anybody, you have you date anybody, but it's not like finding a way to for her to be compensated is like my like where I'm like stance. Like that's my stance. Finding a way to be compensated, giving her money that because that guy can just basically pay her off. Exactly, yeah. But now is I believe that she should be compensated, but that way with that way you guys just paying her off and this thing is not like hurting the guy. So he has to find there have to be a way for the guy to be hurt.
See it here.
In the scenario.
See it here now. See it here now. You're basically trying to give like a safe landing bed for in case the parachute doesn't work.
Okay.
That's basically what you're trying to do. But like when you jumped out of the plane, you knew that there was like just the thing of love. There is no safe landing bed.
Okay.
Like it basically goes back to this thing I said in one YouTube video. But like it's not. I'm not getting all my points from it. But like pain is the risk that comes with love.
All right.
So like there is no compensation. The compensation is the pain. She grab like yes, he leaves the girl. Maybe he offers the girl money. The girl doesn't necessarily want the money. So like we're no longer talking about materialism. We're talking about her feelings now.
Yeah.
Her feelings is what she staked when she gave 3 years of her life and love to that guy. So like you just when you want to love, just know that you're actually putting something on the line. And when things go south, don't start looking for a compensation. Because loving the person from the beginning was a risk, and you decided to take the risk.
Yeah.
Like just like the analogy of jumping out of a plane and wearing a parachute. You know that if this parachute doesn't work, you die. There's no compensation for jumping out of the plane.
Right. We also remember that if that person like it's a risk, right?
Yeah.
But then that person is not logically thinking in that sense. He's not like thinking with his mind. Like I said, he's loved by someone that throws his emotions without actually looking at the possibilities of things going south.
That is now what I'm not saying. Like that is where like the bad part of being a lover is.
Yeah.
Are you now ready to withstand
that part?
Are you now ready to withstand that part? Are you now ready to withstand when the love is not being reciprocated? Are you now ready to withstand? And then if you can really stand your ground when the love is not being reciprocated, yes, I will now say you have won. And this is now a much better argument than what I was actually saying initially.
Okay. So now the hustler.
The hustler.
So
who exactly is the hustler?
So focused on the grind, right? Basically someone that's focused on the grind, someone that's always, motivating himself to always push past and get success, right? To be successful. But then obviously as a hustler you're going to sacrifice a lot of things, right? And one of the biggest things things that they basically sacrifice has been when your emotions, right? People feel like emotions get in the way of your success, right? That kind of thing. Then they also sacrifice basically relationship with people and stuff like that. Things like that. They have to sacrifice things before they basically get to that.
This part is oddly familiar. Right. Well, okay. For me, if I'm going to say these people are winning now, okay, like the stakes now. Let's talk about the stakes now. Like, what are they sacrificing? Relationships. Right. What else?
Relationships. Peace of mind. Pressure. Like that. Emotions.
Okay.
Sleep.
Okay. Okay. First of all, like let's just talk the relationship part now. I mean, what relationships are you sacrificing?
Like, okay,
like no, like it's basically like a rhetorical question. Like what relationships are you sacrificing the relationship with your with your so-called friend that you begged him, Alpha, we can't keep living like this, let's get better. But he said no. Or why are you sacrificing the relationship you have with your mom?
All right, like
Now these are like for me, relationship is depending on the kind of relationship you're sacrificing.
right.
Right. Well, I was listening to Stephen Bartlett. That podcast I was listening about the guy. You know how much I like that guy, but like I found out so many things about the guy. The guy said that like he fell out with his mom.
Okay.
Like he fell out with his mom. And this guy is basically like my role model. Like I basically like this guy. And I never knew that this guy actually fell out with his mom, all in the pursuit of success. It's now basically like me asking myself, like, is shit actually worth it? Like, I mean, lonely at the top, guy. It's not. So, guy,
You know, but you know, the thing about this life is along the way you're going to get people
yes,
that
you're going to meet people.
you're
Yeah,
going to know. It's not you're going to like lose people, even people that are dear to you. I'm not even saying that people that what's it called? Not even saying that people that you feel like oh they're friends that you know wanted to like we understand that as someone that keeps on getting richer and richer, like you just keep on solving past things. You have family members that will hate you.
yeah,
You
yeah,
have critics, right? Now
yeah.
you're going to have people that will only like whenever they see you, like they basically see you like rising, they praise you. Then the moment you have a dip, they
They
criticize you. That kind
criticize
of
you. Yeah,
that's the kind of life you're not going to be living, right?
yeah,
So the things that you're going to be living as someone that's like basically also someone that's basically in that like grind, in that independent phase, right? So it's like the life, that life you're going to be living now. Do you think is worth it just for being successful? Now, yeah, you might just look at it and say, oh yes, you made your money and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you lose loved ones, right? You lose loved ones.
mm,
Maybe your most of the time your work, right? Your grinding, so you work out, you work,
yeah,
and then your work time comes in the space of family time. So you don't end up you don't tend to always have times for your friends, your family. This kind of
family,
like right, but you eventually make it in life, right?
yeah,
But along the way, you lose those people. You lose the connection with those people.
yeah.
Do you understand? So losing that connection and then end up making and being successful, is it like worth it at the end of the day? Like you lost those connections, but then you still made it. Like you still achieved that dream. You still achieved that what's it called, that life you wanted for yourself.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that life you wanted for yourself, you envisioned it. You visioned it with those people in it. But at the end, these people are not there. But the life is there.
the life is
Do you
there.
understand?
But the people you
But
vision
the
in,
yeah
no,
are not
no,
there.
no.
So is it worth it?
Like for me, yeah, I believe that to get anything, you have to sacrifice something, right?
Definitely.
You sacrifice money, good. Sacrifice time, good.
Yeah.
A few sleepless nights, fair. Some friends, mm, family. That's how I'm now like basically kind of draw the line. Now it's not like speaking. You know what I was saying? Them sacrificing, them sacrificing. No, I want to bring something to your notice now. Eh. Like I've thought about this thing so many times, so
Okay.
many times. Like there are some people that I just like the way they are, and I like the way they behave around me.
Okay.
Right? I just like the way we flow. Like let's say in an. Then I was not basically asking myself, like even if I make money, right, I still want to
Yeah.
be Michelle. Like I don't want to change. Like I don't want to like become this person like that people will be, afraid to talk to and be calling me sir. I want to be the same old Michelle. Right? That's when it now basically occurred to me that
But do you think it's possible?
that is exactly what I'm heading to now. That is why it now occurred to me that like when you attain success and you don't change,
Mm.
people around you will change.
Yeah.
That is now the hard, that is now the part you just can't control. So you grab people around you changing, not you changing.
Yeah.
Like you mastered yourself, you conquered yourself. So when the money eventually came,
Even
you
when
did not
the
allow it
fame and
to
everything
override your
came.
values. You did not allow it to override the way
Yeah.
you talk to people or anything. So you basically didn't change, except for a financial statement. But then the people around you now started changing.
Yeah.
God, that is now like
It's just like change is constant, right?
Mm,
Especially when that kind of thing happens, change is constant, and it's either it is you that change or the people around you that
or it's
changes.
the people around you that
Yeah,
changes. And like at the end of the day, it's not a guarantee that everybody will change, right?
yeah,
But like then the people that eventually do change, right? The way they talk to you, the way they behave, all those things. Like no, in your head, you always envision these people there with you. But now they can no longer accommodate this new version of you.
yeah.
They cannot accommodate this new version of you now. So the sacrifice you're talking about now, it depends on are they ready to let go of the version of you that they knew and accept who you are now? If not, then I think this is one of the places where sacrifice comes in. Like 'cause you can't be holding on to people that are holding on to a version of you that no longer exists. Like the version of you that they are holding on to has passed away. He made room for who you are now. He made room for what you have become. But
Okay.
now they got so attached to that version of you that have passed away that they cannot just basically accept what you have become. Now you now like now it's now going to now basically like I'm now flipping the question in the hustler's favor, right? No, it's no longer like did you sacrifice this? Did you sacrifice like were you given no other option than to sacrifice them? Like they couldn't accept it. Then you just had to sacrifice them. Like you just I don't want to like maybe choose this kind of word, but like you just had to do it, man. Like you just basically it's one of those hard things that you just had to do, right? I
Mm.
mean, like looking at it in the hustler's favor, when people around you are not able to adapt to who you have become, then I think yeah, sacrifice is needed. And like I'm not just talking about friends. Sometimes it could be family.
Yes.
Sometimes it could be like
So like
sometimes
it's like when it's family, like when it's all these things, like you said, you just have to sacrifice it when it comes to those kind of situations.
yeah,
It's not the question of after sacrificing all those things, you lose those people, right?
you
Genuine
lose.
people. You lose people that you feel like were there to you,
Yeah,
that you feel like needed to be part of that life you envisioned, basically.
yeah,
So is it not the question is not is it worth it sacrificing those guys? Because you can decide not to continue that version, right? And still like maintain your family and maintain that that family like that family, yeah. Maybe it could even be the one you created, it could be your children, it could be your wife, right? Like give an example, like
mm,
Elon Musk,
yeah.
basically. Elon Musk has like had like how many wives? Like three, yeah, like
But I
two
know he has up to
ex-wives.
13, 14 children.
Yeah, he has two ex-wives, right? So yeah, more than two or three. And Elon Musk is someone that he's always on the grind. Every single day we hear, oh, Elon Musk let's what surpasses 300 or something. Last time, like I think last month, it was around 400, right? Just because of this, the big beautiful build out. This guy did that. Basically, got some,
Yeah.
increases expenses on, you know, electric cars. Well, I don't know, sha. But like basically, Elon Musk was like the richest man, and you have the richest man having 13 children, but really like even as he does have access to it, you still have his wife telling us the world that yes, Elon Musk is this person that was always on the grind, right? Was always
Yeah.
pushing, but he was he lacked emotional, presence. He lacked it. He wasn't always there for his people. So yes, he was sacrificing. He had to do something. He had to sacrifice something, right?
Yeah.
Was that his business or those people? And then he sacrificed his ex-girlfriend and his family and everything
Yeah.
for the future for like his business and everything. So that sacrifice was made. But it's the question of is it worth it that you lose the connection you're supposed to have with the family you created? Like I said, in the last episode I said the family what defines you as a person is not the family
You came
you
from.
came from, it's the family you created. So when you lose that connection with that family that you've created, how do you now like tell me at the end of the day that yes, you're a billionaire or you're a millionaire or you're the richest man in the world, but yet you're happy having sacrificed those people,
Yeah.
right? The
I think
connection
I
you have
think
with
I
those
think for
people.
me my answer on the hustlers part is actually it's very easy. It's not as complicated as that one. I think these people they don't for me the answer is no. They end up winning.
Yeah.
For me my answer is is no they don't. Right? Like it actually sounds very controversial and all, but I mean, think about it, guy. Like, just think about it. Like, they are the only people that didn't win. Like,
Right.
they're the only people that didn't end up smiling. Yes, in as much as I mean, come on, guy. At the end of the day, nobody is chasing the bag to lock up. Like, you're chasing the bag to show people
Yeah.
that look at me. I'm now this thing now, right? And
So
then
you're showing us that just like they don't see that what is it called? They don't always they don't like they don't want share the what I put it, they don't share in the ideology that you have. They don't share in the idea that their own mindset shifts from wanting to be contented with you to be having issues with you and start seeing
yeah,
you as like the bad one and like it
yeah, yeah,
becomes
yeah,
it
yeah,
becomes that kind of jealous that
yeah. Exactly,
or
exactly.
it might not even be jealous. Sometimes it might just be like you falling out. Like maybe you try everything possible for them, but like they don't see it because from their perspective they feel like you also need to be present for them. You
Yeah,
like they feel like it's not like you are changing. You're just not having more time for them. You're not just having time for them. You're not
yeah.
having more time for your business and lesser time for
That's the
those
time for
people.
them. Like,
So the connection you're having is basically like
yeah,
separating.
exactly,
And so
exactly. Like, yeah. I mean, they do have millions of dollars.
yes,
They do have fine house.
yeah,
They do have fancy cars, private jets. But like, that is not characteristics of winning in my own terms, right? It's how happy you were at the end, right? And like, to see everybody that you thought that they were basically on your side flip like on the fucking last moment, bro. You lost, guy.
yeah,
Like, in as much as the loss didn't come from you, no, you worked hard, and I'm acknowledging the hustlers. You worked hard. You threw yourself into that successful position in life, that place that only 1% of the entire earth is. But like, people around you couldn't accommodate that version of you, and they flipped over to their side because they know that it is easier. Like, change is very hard. Change, it is very, very hard. Like, when somebody changes himself, his personality, character, everything, just to achieve success, a friend or a family cannot basically just let go of that mindset of this is who this person is and not
yeah,
accepting for who. Like, there's this thing called, there's difference between love and unconditional love.
yeah,
The way we are supposed to love people is unconditionally, but we just love people. Right? Everybody keeps talking about love, but like, I'll tell you, unconditional love. Unconditional love is like, it will actually surprise you that, like, it's actually like surprise some people, but like, you might end up seeing that your parents just, they don't they don't they don't love you
unconditionally, yeah,
unconditionally.
yeah,
They love you conditionally. They love you when you are a good student doing this and that and that and that. But like, when you decide to take a particular step that is outside their thinking box, that is outside their horizon of thought, that is basically something that they have never really thought of before,
mm.
then they begin having issues with you. Why? Because that's when you just basically see that, okay, this people actually love me conditional.
It's
Like,
based on conditions, based on what their
they,
terms, like terms
yeah,
and
they
conditions.
love you on their things, and it's actually, it's actually very, 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 very funny. But
Yeah,
like, everybody's supposed to love everybody
yeah.
unconditionally.
Mm.
If not, don't love at all.
I feel like that unconditional love is when I feel like that unconditional love is like when you tend to have respect for the other person,
Respect, right?
right? See, because there is a reason there's a reason why parents will love you conditionally for a particular time. Like it's acceptable for them to love you conditionally for a particular time, right? But then it will get to a point where they need to understand that now it is where they need to love you unconditional. Like if you're putting in that aspect, conditional love is like you said, good students, this. Maybe that's when like in that building phase, that nurturing phase, that phase where
Yeah,
your
yeah,
parents are still
yeah,
the one like basically your parents is like they or you are their responsibility basically.
yeah. That that
So
that,
that is
that
where the conditional love comes
yeah.
in, and they have you have to just basically follow their terms. But then it is not like the point where you're not able to make decisions of yourself for yourself. You're not in that
Yes,
position to
and then they have to now respect
respect
that
that
decision.
those decisions, right? If
Yeah,
respect, that's where respect comes in, and then it goes to show that it becomes it turns from that conditional to unconditional love. Now it's
Yeah.
not that love that is based on, you know, whatever you do, like we follow, like we respect it. You know, we see you as, you know, a young man that can make his decisions for himself, and like, it shows that that's unconditional love. And unconditional love can also be like between two, you know, two friends, right? That decision of that friend, you know, to make that is it is when, like you said, it happens to everybody. You said people tend to love you conditionally.
Conditionally,
I
yeah.
love
And that is not
conditional
love.
love, and that's not love because it is when you start to like behave in a certain way that the person doesn't like, or for example, a friend chooses that, like someone chooses you as a friend based on attributes they feel like you guys possess. Let's say
Yeah.
you love anime. The moment you stop watching anime, that friend is no more your friend.
That friend is not
The
my
love
friend.
that he was showing you
Exactly.
before
So it was
isn't
based
there.
on the
It's
condition that you
basically,
watch anime.
yeah,
It was
it
not it was not an
expires.
unconditional love.
It wasn't that I wanted to explore who you are as a person, and
Yeah.
you have to explore who I
Who
am
I
as
am
a
as a
person for
person,
us
yeah.
to be friends. It's not like you do this, right? That's just the only way you can be my friend. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So
They make it kind of conditional. Which like basically I think almost everybody does this thing. Like
yeah,
now going back to that thing we're saying about parents, right? I think parents are the people that have this they have the biggest problem of most parents is they don't know how to just let go. They don't know how to let go of the 5-year-old version of you or the 6-year-old version of you, right? Because even when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, they still don't trust you enough to let you just make a simple decision.
yeah,
Like, and it's actually very, very annoying, personally for me. Like, 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 why can't they just kind of trust you that you're not going to mess it up? They just have this "you're going to mess it up" mentality. You're going to mess it up, and like I'm not doing it so that I won't mess it up. I'm doing it because I'm 16 years old, and this is the time where I'm supposed to mess things up.
yeah,
So that in my early 20s, I'm no longer be messing things up. But like you see them sometimes trying to protect because they still think that you're 6 years or you're 5 years or you're 7 years or you're this. And also going back to the hustlers, like people that love the version of you that is poor, people that love the version of you that is simple, people that love the version of you that is not thinking outside the box,
yeah,
right? They're not going to love the version of you that is grinding. They're not going to love the version of you that is you stay and all of a sudden you're just talking about this idea, this mind blowing idea. They're not going to love those versions of you
yeah.
because they love the version of you. So the hustlers, personally, I don't know about you, but like yeah, they don't win. Personally, I
Mm.
think I think they don't win, and it's actually kind of funny because I personally I even thought that these guys, the hustler guys, are going to be more complex than the lovers,
Right.
right? Like the lovers ended up being complex, so I have to say they win on a certain condition.
Your conditions, yeah.
But these hustlers, like if all these things that we just see played out, then I
Yeah.
don't think they win.
They can't win, yeah.
Like personally, I don't just think that is a win. Did you win? Like personally, like in the terms of like I said, we're looking at this from a societal context, right?
Yeah.
So like okay, looking at it from a societal context, they won. Now I'm not talking about personally, did they
Yeah,
win?
they win.
Like are you now still alone? Like did you go
Yeah.
from having so many people to sit and laugh it in a in a bad room, in a room that is not all that fine, to being the only person in a luxurious room just looking at the ceiling? So yeah, I don't think this guy is actually winning.
Wow. No, the lovers it was based on condition that
It was based on condition, yeah, to show you how like how slim their own ground was.
yeah,
So you grab
and this was just like a outright no.
like
I feel like this is going to be this next category is going to be the one that wins. And like they're the only one that's guaranteed they win for like they're the only one that's guaranteed they win, and that is the
pretender.
pretenders. Like
How?
they're the only one that are guaranteed. Okay,
So
for
like
example,
basically give us the context of who the pretenders are.
so pretenders are like just basically saying, I think from the names, if you even know what a pretender, like who a
Yeah.
pretender is, like someone that this fake lifestyle, Instagram body, Instagram rich, real life poor, then that kind of thing, Twitter wise, reality is go secure. Like the person's reality is like she's not like
Wise at all.
at all. He's not rich,
But like he's posting
but
wise tweets.
exactly that kind of thing. So the pretender basically wins, but then he doesn't win forever. So in the short term, these
Yeah.
people they win because they tend to tell you what they want. You tend to believe what they are saying, right? Because of
Yeah.
it is what they want, is what they want you to see.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah. Yeah.
understand?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're basically winning.
Yeah.
You can only
They manipulate your reality, your perception
your
of them.
perception of them
Yeah.
basically. So they basically win. They just basically lie to you, and you basically fall for their trap.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So they win, yes. In short term, is their goal is to make you believe, and when they make you believe, they win, right? But then at the end of the day, if you're going in the long term, and like let's say that whole life, because obviously fake life comes to an end. There's no, you can't do fake life forever. There's going to be, like
You're going to run out of things fake.
not even like a lot of things. People will find out. Like people will make research.
Yeah.
People will dig deep into your life and know. Right? You can start off with fake life, posting, but to get to a point where people want to find out more on how this person's wealth is being made, where his money is coming from. Now people are not asking questions unless there was that phase of you where in that short term winning, that short term people making people believe that this was the life that you were saying to them is real. Do you understand? And then people now start to ask questions, and that questions leads to answers, and answers are being made, and they find out that it's all a lie. So they do win.
These pretenders. They are just so simple that
Yeah.
I don't even basically know where to even start with them. Like they are the people that just they fake life,
Yeah.
get what they want in the short term, and in the long term
And
they. So the question is now going back to: do they actually win? I mean, yes, the way you're saying it sounds like they win, but like
they're the only ones guaranteed an actual win. But then it's not that the win is going to be a long
in the long
lasting
term,
one.
okay, but like, yeah, yeah,
They're the
yeah,
only
yeah,
ones
yeah.
that like
They can get what they want from
yes,
you in the short
in
term.
the short term. Like out of the three categories, I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
like the win is not like a tangible win.
it's not the
It's just like it's the only type of trophy we can give them,
because
right?
do you know what the reason why it is, the reason your aim is to make the vision first for the what's the first person, the lover, right?
Yeah,
Love that person and then lead that life for you and that lover, right? But then he ends up getting dumped.
yeah,
No win there, like it's complex, right? It's
yeah.
complex. The win
It's more complex than
exactly.
this. Yeah,
And then for the hustler, it is visioning that life with your family, the
yeah.
family this. But then you get to that place and that life is there, but the life vision with the family is not there.
It's not there.
So
Yeah,
like the sacrifice was basically made. The win is not there, like it's a
it's
half
not
and half
there.
and
Yeah,
everything. But then these people are the only people that their aim is to tell you this is a lie, right? That like they want you to believe that it is a lie, and they are the only ones that actually achieve, like they're the only ones that actually achieve that like telling you
yeah.
that it is a lie.
They are the only people that sees a tangible form of win. But
Yeah,
like to those listening, like you know we're not saying that this guy is win-win.
we know.
We're just basically, giving them a small trophy.
Like
Like,
is
because at the end
it,
of the day, nobody actually won.
nobody
Like,
wins, right?
you don't win this game, guy.
Like
Fuck.
there's no
Like,
there's no winner to any, like I don't think in this life there's like a winner. It's just what your perception of your goal, like you
your goal is.
what you achieve basically.
Yes, and then when you're now making, when you're making room for the goals, you make room for what you are going to sacrifice
Yeah,
to get the goal. Because if
true.
not, don't plan the goals in the
Don't
first
plan the goal
place.
in the first place.
Right, so that you not end up like the guy that that basically went from laughing with his friends in a dirty room to looking at the ceiling in a luxurious room and asking yourself, was it all worth it? Ask yourself now, is it going to be worth it? Like losing all these people,
Yeah.
is it going to be worth it? Like, I don't know, guy. I don't even know how to
We can
like
what we can do is just basically give like you can just give solutions, like define a possible solution
possible
for
solution.
all
Yeah,
three.
but like at the
The
end,
first, like for the first one, we can say the lover should be logical whenever he's coming to picking the person that he's loving,
yeah,
right? And things like that. But at the end of the day, you cannot really tell who the other person is.
yeah, and also not ever put your eggs in one basket.
True.
In as much as we're not telling you to love three people at once. That's not what I mean by
No.
like putting your eggs. I mean like you have to make room for the south. Like make room
Yeah,
for
make room
if
for
things
a
go bad.
possibility.
Like
Like
yeah, don't
yeah,
just basically resting on something, and if it shifts, you are falling down on your fucking face, right?
Exactly.
So that is basically for the lovers. The pretenders.
Pretenders, like, don't fake life, like, please, like, we don't do fake life.
I honestly don't know why these pretenders are even here.
Like, bro, it's just like,
yeah, just it's basically occupied space, but like, yeah, they do at the end of the day, they do get a form of win, right? Because it is the pretender millionaire that will tell you to pay him $1,000. Like, it is the pretender millionaire that can get 1,000 people to pay him $1,000 to teach them how to become a millionaire, and then in that process making himself a millionaire. Right? Because pretenders actually win.
They win, like
they win like they kind of like a short win, but like
it's not them,
not win, but shit is crazy, guys. Shit is actually crazy. I actually love this topic. This topic was actually very hard for me, right? Because it's not because of it's hard to talk on, but like I don't even know how to even like view the thing to talk about it in the first place. I can't even get my hand around wherever it is. So I just basically threw everything I had at it, and plus another why I basically like stuff is I had to think. Right. This is not just the other talk. Like I actually had to actively think. Like when you were asking me that question, my head was basically analyzing. So yeah. This topic was actually very 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 nice, right?
Like, if you're trying to run, like, put your wrap around like how we thought about this topic, guy, fucking ChatGPT. So so, like, it's not just two smart boys, but the thing is, this podcast of a thing, there are times when you run out of ideas, right? And that's probably what happened, right? We try to crack our head out, right? Just get us one controversial topic, like one controversial topic, and we just like stumbled around this one, and we're like, yes, let's just speak on it, and then wow, it was actually very lovely.
And like in a way, for me, it was kind of like an exercise, because as much as we're podcasting this topic, like it is a topic that one of the smartest AI gave us, and we basically have to think about it and talk for like I think over an hour on it. Like, it was not necessarily this, but like I did learn some new things in this topic. Like I basically had to force my mind to expand, because you just basically saw me when I went from these people win to okay, this will, so it basically means that my mindset
I was
open.
Basically, I was already contradicting myself. No,
I saw you contradicting yourself.
I said that women should not be collecting what's it called, like compensation, when they didn't work for, like, that kind of thing. Now you can't do divorce, and then
like compensation is necessary.
It's necessary because like, if you're actually looking at it, then it seems necessary, but not mandatory, like you said. But I mean, guy, that's what the smartest AI does to you.
That was AI does to you. So yeah, this topic was actually very very fun, and like always, we update every Wednesdays and Saturdays by 2 p.m. So whoever you think basically wins the game of life, if you don't think anybody wins, good and fine, but whoever you think wins this game, let us know in the comment section.
Yeah,
peace out.